Saludos mi gente, me encuentro con el refuerzo de los Capitanes de Arecibo, Chinemelu Elonu. Estamos en su restaurante aquí en Blends, en Atillo, Puerto Rico, Barrio Carrizales. Chinemelu, thank you for the opportunity. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for reaching out to me too, man.
Thank you.
It's always an opportunity to help you and you help me.
Exactly. Well, tell us, where are your restaurant? How did this business begin? What kind of food you serve here? Tell us about the hours.
Right now the business started off last year around March. We had a whole different vibe going then. We had a full service menu and everything going, but hard times have hit everybody.
Yes.
And right now we're mostly focusing on just doing the lunches during the week. We're open from around 9 to 2 p.m. And we just do lunches during the week. And then slowly but surely we'll start to add other things back into it. We'll get the lounge open and hopefully just pay attention to us and see what we have in store.
Great. I know you guys give free delivery through Arecibo and Atillo. That's great.
I mean, I'm trying to, like I said, everybody's having a hard time right now, so I'm trying to at least give back in some type of way. I mean, the price point that we're at the moment is a price point I believe that most people can't beat. And, the free deliveries, because I know right now a lot of people are working very hard and it's hard for them to be able to get out of their jobs. So that's why I've done those two things together, and for as long as I can, I'm trying to keep those things going.
Great. You always wanted to have a restaurant, or?
Honestly, no, but I have the car detailing right across the way, Del Norte, and we saw this space, and then the ideas just started flowing. And, I'm not going to say that I regret anything. I mean, it's definitely a challenging industry.
Yeah.
But it's something that I'm having fun with, and hopefully I can, see the fruit of that labor, come through.
Great. So you talked about the car detailing. Do you own other businesses aside from that, or just two?
Right now it's just these two businesses.
Great.
There's a lot of other things that I've been doing, as the years have gone along. I've written a book, and I'm getting the illustrations and stuff done, and hopefully I can get that stuff finalized, and it's just a lot of other things that I've done or thought of doing. This mind is always churning, So
turn to the next thing. Well, to your basketball career, you were born in Nigeria, right?
Yes.
But moved to Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
At what age did you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball around 15.
15, so you're late, right?
Yeah, late bloomer.
But why was that? You played other sports?
Honestly, the reason for me starting around 15 is my sister started playing.
Okay.
And then I was just kind of like, let me give it a try. And then,
great.
Everybody else kind of followed after that in my family, and we just kind of quickly fell in love with it. And it was a struggle at first, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was nowhere. I was terrible. I'm gonna keep it honest. I was terrible, but man, I mean, just hard work and dedication and consistency is what has put me in this place to be here, man. And I wouldn't change it for anything. I mean, God is good.
Yeah. In your senior year in high school, I was checking. You guys finished 33-5. I was playing high school, Texas scene. How was that? Because I know a lot of great athletes come from Texas. Football, boxing, basketball. It's like a lot of great athletes in different sports come from Texas.
Yeah, I mean, you're not lying. In my district alone, we had a lot of good players. One of my good friends, actually I'll say 2 or 3 of my good friends went and played college ball at a very high level. At least one of them is still was playing professionally for the NFL.
Oh, wow.
And man, it's
a lot of competition, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of. So like I told you, I mean, I started at 15, so that was about my freshman year, and it It was difficult. I mean, I took the hard path to get to varsity, definitely. I went from, the freshman C team to sophomore team, and then obviously JV to varsity. But it was difficult. But I had a lot of good players around me, so that's more of the main reasons why we had that record.
Great record. Yeah. So for college, you chose Texas A&M University, home of the Aggies. My favorite college football player, Johnny Manziel. I know.
Really?
He went there, Heisman Trophy winner. So why did you choose that university? Great university, home of the 12th man, right?
Home of the 12th man. That's one of the main reasons why. That's one of the reasons why I continue to wear the number 12.
I didn't know that. Great.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
And also with a biblical verse also.
Okay.
But Texas A&M, great school. Honestly, I mean, the school is great. I'm not gonna lie to you. The people is what made it awesome for me. It was just a warm environment versus all the other schools that I went to that were really good schools also. It's just something that when I stepped foot on campus there, I was just like, man,
this is the place.
This is the place.
Great.
And the 3 years that I stayed there was nice.
And you guys were great. You at one point you were ranked number 6 in the nation, right? And went to the NCAA tournament every year. So tell us about that experience.
We had a lot of success. We had some good coaches. I mean, we had Billy Gillespie when I was there, and we had Mark Turgeon. But then we had a lot of really good players.
AC Law, right?
AC Law.
Played with you, right?
Joseph Jones, Donald Sloan, Josh Carter, DeAndre Jordan.
Jordan?
Yeah, the name goes on. I mean, BJ Holmes, Dash Harris.
That was stacked.
Yeah, we had a lot. Derek Rowland. I mean, we had a lot of really, really good players.
Wow.
A lot of really, really good players. And, I mean, as any good team, we had some really good walk-ons also, like, Chris Chapman and all these guys. And they were one of the main reasons because our practices were so intense.
I imagine because all the talent, right?
Yeah. I mean, college was great, man. A&M. I'll never forget A&M. That's
you went to watch a college football game?
Always.
Always, yes.
I think every weekend when they
played there.
When we played at Kyle Field, we were there supporting. I mean, it's Texas after all. Yeah. Football is king.
Kind of related, right?
Yeah. Football is king. So every weekend, whenever we could, and the football team played at home, we were there.
Right, 100,000 people, right?
Now it's even more. They actually closed the stadium, so it's way more.
Wow, that must be an incredible experience.
Yeah, it was.
In 2009, you were selected to the first team of Big 12, right? That was your breakout year, right? Then you passed to the NBA draft, where you were selected in the second round by the Los Angeles Lakers. Mm-hmm. I was being selected by the Lakers. How was that experience for you?
I'm gonna tell you, man. It was a great feeling and a nerve-wracking feeling all at the same time.
Because they were like the champs, right, at that time?
They were the champs at that time. I'm sitting there during the draft process. I had the option to go back to school.
Yeah, because you were a union, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh. And, a couple things didn't go the way that they were supposed to go, and I'm just real nervous now. Like, man, I might not get picked.
Okay, I understand.
And that second to last pick comes through, and it says my name, and I'm just like, wow.
My dream came through, right?
Dream came true, and it was the Lakers. I mean, what other organization could you ask for?
The most famous in the world.
Exactly. I mean, until this day, I still thank God that I was among the 60 to get selected. I mean,
it's a small number, not like the NFL or MLB. Exactly. It's a lot of rounds. Exactly. It's 2 rounds.
That's what I tell people all the time. I mean, it's 60 out of thousands of players.
From everywhere, from every country, all the NCAA players. So it's a lot.
NCAA, then you got international players.
Exactly.
So it's a lot
high school. Not in that time, but now even high school.
So I mean, that's a blessing too. I mean, God has blessed me in every step that I've been, and that's one of the reasons why I will continue to be as a hard worker as I can, and the people that are around me, I want them to try to be the same way. So, I mean, we're all blessed. It's just all about the way that you look at it and the way that you use those circumstances that are around you to get past through the next obstacle.
Great. In your college days, which was the best player that you faced, would you say? It could be in practice, in Jordan.
In the Big 12 alone, that year, I'll tell you, I faced Blake Griffin.
In Oklahoma, it was his peak year.
I faced Kevin Durant.
Man, in Texas.
Michael Beasley.
Kansas State, right? No, that's just top. Yeah. First two picks of the draft.
Yeah, I faced all those
Player
guys.
of the year, Kevin Durant and Michael Beasley, right? In your years.
And then outside of the Big 12.
That's just in the Big 12 alone. So people understand that's alone. Just in the conference, right? Wow.
That was just in the conference.
A lot of talent.
Then outside of the Big 12, I think we went against Stanley Robinson. And, man, a few other guys I can't remember right now, but we went against some really good guys.
Yes. Then in 2009, you played in the Summer League, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Las Vegas, Orlando, which one?
Vegas.
How was that experience? Because that's the best young talent, right, in the NBA, in the world.
To me, I looked at it as, just extension of college, because I played against a lot of those people anyways during college, but it's just that you were being coached by guys that already were in the NBA. And the thing is, for me, one of the biggest, the hardest things for me was learning that triangle offense. Which was definitely something different. At this point in my career, I probably would have grasped onto it a lot easier. But then it was just it's kind of a free-flowing offense. It's always a free-flowing, it's like a motion basically that always just kind of leads back to the same thing. And you're just kind of repeating it. You're doing it off of reads and everything. But that triangle offense is something different. And
you were really young, right? Like 20 years old. So it must be a hard offense to learn.
Yeah, it definitely was. And I definitely can respect all those guys that ever have to run that offense. It's not easy.
It must be very hard. After that, you went to play in Spain, Greece, France, and Europe, came back to the Summer League, and also have played in Turkey, China, Italy, Egypt, Kuwait, all over the world. Tell us about those experiences. Which league is the best that you played? Teammates that you've had?
Man, I can't really tell you which league is the best because they all have their different qualities.
Okay.
But I've enjoyed every place I've been, honestly. Every place is a different culture for you to learn, and that's one thing that I love about playing overseas. All the different cultures that you get to learn about that you never knew anything about. All the different food that you get to, all the different food that you get to try that you never knew anything about. Those are definitely the positives. One of the many positives that there is to just traveling all over the world. And but my favorites, I would say, if I had to just name a couple, would probably have to be Turkey, Greece.
But those are great leagues, and the EuroLeague, right? Those are very, very top level leagues with ex-NBA players. So those are very high.
Yep. And then, of course, I would have to say Italy and Spain also.
But those are like the best leagues in the world, right? Outside of the NBA, you played in the best leagues in the world. I
mean, that's what you want to do at the end of the day is compete, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then outside of the basketball, like I said, it's good foods in all those countries.
You love food, right? You love food? Because you've been telling me that. You love food?
I mean, I'm one person that I like to try different things. And food is one thing that is just
it's different. Every place you go is different.
Yeah, it's different.
Different recipes and stuff.
People have different ways of, seasoning the foods and preparing it, and it's just something that you can learn and you come to appreciate.
In 2015, you came to Arecibo, right? The Capitanes for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2017 you came back again, but in 2018 I would say as a fan that was your breakout year because that was the first time you won a championship, right? Mm-hmm. And you've also called Arecibo and Puerto Rico your home since
17.
17, right? So how has been living here, playing here with all the teammates you had and all the success you had?
Man, Puerto Rico since day one. I mean, 2015, was my first year. I didn't really get to explore much of anything at that time. I was living in Manatí, actually, so I would just go to the cancha and back to the hotel.
Yeah,
that's basically all I really did. I mean, it was physical. That let me know that the league here was very physical.
Yeah,
very
the referees let them play. It's not like other leagues.
And that was before. That was one of the last years before. Maria came and everything, so the fans were incredible. But 17, I got to explore the island a little bit and meet people and that's really when I fell in love with the island, and after that I said, man, I could really make this my home. And like I always say, I mean, this is one thing I always say, that one of the best things about Puerto Rico is honestly the people. Yes. I mean, I've never really come to so many places where people don't know you that well and they just will bring you into their homes or into their hearts so easily, and I felt right at home.
But people love you here because in this town, in Arecibo, people, they show you a lot of support and a lot of love during the games. And even, when you're walking on the street, I've seen it, people have told me. And also, you're a very, great person that people like to talk, hang out. So that says a lot about you, but also, as you say, about the people.
I mean, I go about life thinking that we all have our jobs and there's nothing that really makes anybody truly more special than the other, because we're all special in our own ways. So for me, I would say, okay, yes, I'm a basketball player and you're a business owner, or you work for Luma and you work for whoever and whoever. But at the end of the day, we're all the same people. So I try to treat people the way that they would treat me, and that's just the way I go about life. And people can call it something extravagant or whatever, but I just say I'm just trying to be myself, and but when I've run into a lot of people that don't know who I am.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that, because for me, like, I go in, okay, the thing is, I'm a 6'10" black guy.
People here, so I'm not that tall.
People are gonna ask, okay, you play basketball or something like this. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I joke around and be like, no, I'm a golfer. This is something that I've always done. But for me, like, they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm like, it's okay. Like,
people, not everybody.
Yeah, not everybody likes basketball. Exactly. And if you don't like basketball, that's okay. Like,
it's cool.
It's cool. Like, I don't walk around expecting that everybody should know who I am, because that's just not the way that it should be. I mean, this is a world with so many fascinating things to do. So if I run into somebody and they don't know who I am, we just go in and we keep talking about whatever it is that interests us at that moment, and then we just go about our life.
Yeah, and you also won the championship in 2021 with Arecibo, and you've been 3-time Defensive Player of the Year here. Always blocking shots, grabbing rebounds. Would you say that was something that you've had in your game since the beginning? Or
defense is definitely something that's always been in my game.
Since you were 15 and started playing?
No.
Later.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, my mentor, Byron Smith, he's actually the head coach of Prairie View. He's been the head coach there for a few years now. Defense, he always told me, defense is the one thing in this game that if everything else goes bad, you can always fall back to it.
And it travels. That's what everybody says.
It does. It really does. So for me, if everything else isn't going well, I know that defense is something that I can always do. And I mean, I'm not going to be the strongest scorer or maybe even the best rebounder every night, but I know that I can give my full and try to be able to try to stop at least a couple of the defenders on the court when they're in front of me. And that's just what I try to do day in and day out. I mean, it's not an easy feat. I mean, especially as I'm getting older and these guys, the younger guys are coming in. But, you know, the one thing I can say is I'm going to give my all and just see how it goes.
And also, it's so people can understand, it's not just blocking shots. That's in the stats, but also all the shots you alter.
Yes.
Because a point guard is in the lane or in the paint, and he sees you, and he's not gonna try the same shot.
Yeah.
He would, like, if it was a little guy or some guy that doesn't defend. So those things don't go to the stat books, but they count.
Exactly. I mean, you're right. I mean, it's just all about trying to be in the right position, which defense is mostly all about, is trying to be in the right position and just trying to throw that guy off just a little bit. Because that guy, I mean, if it's somebody like Walter or Dennis Clemente or David Huertas, like, these guys are proven scorers.
Yeah.
You know? My job is, instead of having them score 25 points a game, is try to at least get them to only score 10 or 15. I'm not going to stop them from scoring.
Or even the centers, like this year, Cousins, you know, he's a great scoring center.
That's actually a great example. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins is, for me, I grew up watching him in the NBA too.
Yeah, me too, in the Kings.
When I really started watching NBA basketball, I watched this guy. I know he's younger than me, but I watched this guy, and I think that he's a bully in the paint. He's good.
He's great.
But when now is my chance to defend him, I'm not going to back down.
No, I saw it in the playoffs. I saw it. Right?
So for me, it's just to try to limit what it is that you're able to do well. And he's a scorer. He's a very smart guy, can pass the ball, can rebound well. He can defend equally, probably as well as me.
He's like shifty, right? He's like little moves, little crossovers.
Because he knows how to pick his angles.
Yeah.
And if you like study his game, you'll know that. He's good at picking his angles. And he's a really good player.
Injuries have played a toll on him, but he played great this year. He played great.
He really did. And I hope that he gets another shot to go back into the NBA. I really do.
Yeah. He deserves to be in the NBA.
Yeah, I think he does.
And he's young. He's still young. You went to the ball, is how I say it, in Africa, right?
Yep,
and with Walter Hutch, and you guys won the championship. That was great for us in Arecibo because two guys from our team won. I was
first ever championship.
Yeah, that was an NBA sanctioned league.
And it was awesome. I mean, I actually went there because of Walter.
Really? Samalek, right?
Yeah. I mean, they had a Spanish coach.
Okay.
He already kind of knew about me, but Walter, further confirmed that I was the kind of guy that they would want.
Right.
And, Walter called me, and I'm not going to lie to you, I had no interest of going. At this time was peak COVID time. I had no interest of leaving the island. And Walter was like, man, just come. Like, it's only going to be a couple weeks. And I told him no. I honestly told him no. My agent called and was like, yo, Chin, I think it would be a good opportunity. And I was like, man, I don't know. Then Walter called back again. And then
Walter insisted then.
And then Coach Agosti called back, and then I was like, okay, why not? Give it a shot. And that's one thing. That's another thing that I would say I'm happy that I actually went to go and do.
That's great. That
those guys were so persistent because it was a great run. It was a great run event. For us to actually win the championship was awesome.
Yes.
My teammates were awesome, and the accommodations that they gave for us in Rwanda, the hotel and everything, and even though it was through COVID and the protocols and everything were very strict, I mean, they had us feeling comfortable.
It was like a type of a bubble.
Oh, it was bad. It was a bubble, but we couldn't leave the room at certain times.
Wow.
We had to wait for them to bring the lunches to the door for the first 2 weeks just to make sure that everybody was COVID free, and then after that they kind of started to open it up to where we would be able to go eat together, and it was basically I guess the way the NBA bubble was done. It was different, but like I said, the experience was awesome.
Oh, and you guys won. That was the thing, right? To play to win.
I love to win. I'll tell you that. I mean, I love it. I mean, I feel like,
But you won in almost every place you've been to.
I've won in almost every place I've been to, yes, thank God. There was one championship that slipped away from me, I felt like. The championship in Quebradillas. They stole it. But, you know, I remember that. I remember that game. I mean, I injured my back a little bit, and I fought through it, but it slipped out of our grasp. So I should have 3, but
it's okay. But
you know, I can't complain.
But I was writing down, and you won in Spain, Egypt, obviously in Puerto Rico, and that league in Africa. So you've won a lot. So.
Yep, and Greece too.
In Greece too?
Yeah, man.
Sleep away.
I've been, like I said, I've been blessed.
Very blessed. Like we were talking before. So to finish, before we started doing the interview, I told you that you're a very, very charitable person and you'd like to help others. Like I told you, in 2017, we went with a group of my brother in the Inter-American University to help other people. You always been like that. You like to help people during hard times because you know the hurricane was terrible for us. Even today, people say it's affecting us. So
I mean, I was here before the hurricane came, so I can say that it's definitely affected us. In more ways than we have known even at the moment. But I feel like that we're slowly kind of bouncing back, thank God. With me in the charitable ways, I've always been a kind of person that wants to try to help as much as I can. With the charity, we try to focus more on the education, giving back with school supplies and things like that. Of course, we want to do more. But with the funds and stuff that we're able to raise right now, or even the ones that I give from my own pocket, we're only able to do so much at the moment. And at the moment, I haven't really been focused so much on the charity aspect as I've been. We've just been kind of raising funds, and then when we get to a certain number that we want to get to, then we'll try and do way more than we've done in the past. But at the moment, if you guys can help, we have a little donation box here at Blends, or you can send me a message in my inbox on Facebook or Instagram. I mean, we're always down for donations or sponsorships or whatever it is, just to help the people just to help the children of our future, because I believe that it is a very important thing, and it's just necessary.
It is. It's very necessary, and not every people gets the chance to get the proper education they need.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I wanted to ask you one more question. When you're preparing for a game, you're in the building, what music do you listen to that turns you on, like ready for the game? I have to ask you.
I'm a guy that listens to everything. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sometimes I just put the phone on shuffle and it just goes. I mean, I literally listen to everything. But I would say, like, my favorite, I listen to Linkin Park. I listen to J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, Nas.
A lot of hip hop.
I listen to some hip hop. I definitely listen to, some bachata and some salsa that my people put me on to. Lately I've been listening to a lot of rock and,
different type of music.
I listen to everything. I mean, like I told you, I travel the world too, so I'm listening to French music. I might not understand French that well, but I like the way the melody's going or the beat. When I was in Kuwait, I'm listening to a little bit Arabic music, and I'm cultural. I try to be as cultural as possible, and that's just me. But if I'm not listening to music, I'm watching TV, man. I mean, I'm an anime guy. I'm always watching some different type of anime, or just trying to catch up with some of the movies that I've missed out on lately.
Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And now I would like to give you a moment to give a message to your fans.
Oh man, I know when you guys probably see me on the court, it doesn't seem like I'm appreciative of all of the support that you guys have given, not only me, but the team over the years. But trust and believe that without you guys, none of the success that we've had in the past or in the future to come would be possible. And I really, really, really appreciate it, and so happy that you guys have been able to send messages when things are going good or even when things are going bad. And I just thank you guys for always being there for us, really. Thank you guys so much.
For giving me the chance and the opportunity, I wanted to give you a present. We want to do you one, the red or the blue one. Blue one.
I never rock with red.
So thank you.
Blue all day.
Thank you for the opportunity, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Public service announcement.
Un saludo aquí en Blends. Les ofrecemos el especial de almuerzo de lunes a viernes aquí en carretera 492 en Corcovado, Atillo. Los esperamos.